This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. From their secret underground studio, this is the Swish Edition.
We got a mouthful for you guys.
Dale and Scott are in the studio on the mics, and they fired up the antenna.
It has to come whether you like it or not.
And if you're willing to show it, they'll take a picture of it.
I actually think I might throw up.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, here are your new best friends. They're your
It's
hosts,
very exciting for me because this was the best show ever made.
Dale and Scott.
Back in the studio.
Once again.
Yeah. So it's June 1st.
Holy crap. I hope everyone had a happy
I know you're
Happy
not,
Memorial Day.
Yeah, right? Because
You're not supposed to say that anymore.
you're literally not supposed to say that, which is so weird to me.
Well, anyway, welcome to the unofficial first day of summer.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because Memorial Day is the kickoff for summer.
Exactly.
And I'm excited that it's here. I just wish that we had the weather to go along with it.
It's freaking crazy.
I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt and jeans today.
I don't like it.
I should be wearing a tank top and booty shorts.
Exactly.
Right? Would you like to see me in that outfit?
I mean, what do I care?
Well, I hope that you care a lot. We just got back from Key West, Florida, and I have to tell you guys, if you haven't been, book your trip. Book your trip to Key West. I'm doing a commercial, and I'm not getting paid, Dale.
I mean, the thing is, we both have been there before. It's just that we haven't been there recently,
Right. Well,
and so it was kind of new to me, at least, because the last time I've been there has been a long time.
Yeah. Well, the last time I stayed there was 25 years ago, dude. 25 years ago. But then I've been there multiple times on cruises. But that's when you're only there from like 10 in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And I have to say, the last time that I was there had to be like 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
Was the last
It's been
time
a
I was
while.
there. It's been a long time.
It's been a minute, as
and
the
this
kids say.
and this was the first time that I had stayed there.
Right.
I loved every minute
We
of
had
it.
fun. So
I forget what kind of. It's not a city. I forget what kind of town it is.
it's all about having fun. Drinking, eating.
I had no idea that Key West had open liquor laws.
Yeah, you can.
I had no idea.
You can get a drink at one bar and take it to the next,
Just
or
go.
You can get a roadie. Like we went to the Ram's Head, and I got a Bloody Mary and walked home with it and finished it before I got home.
That's what they said we should ask for. You ask for a roadie,
That's right.
and then you walk home.
We loved it. So we rented a little house. It was a little 2-bedroom, 2-bath house.
And let's say
we
that
had
that's the best way to enjoy Key West.
I mean, there are plenty of hotels. There are plenty of inns. There's plenty of motels. But getting your own little house with your own... We had our own little pool in the backyard. It was fairly private. We went out there with our coffee in the morning and sat by the pool. And I had a great time. And
I loved it.
We were only there. We went down on last Monday, and we came home on Friday. So we were there for 4 nights.
I think it was perfect.
It was perfect amount of time.
And you kind of, because it's busy. It's busy.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what it would be like during the weekends, but I didn't miss not being there the weekends.
We had so much fun. We met some interesting people. We met both locals and transients.
Yes.
Who we had fun with. We went to a couple bars in the evening. We hung out at the Ram's Head bar during the day. Had breakfast there a couple days.
Yes.
I had my Bloody Marys, which I really liked.
So we have to do a shout out to Beth and Andy at Ram's Head.
Yay!
And then also Andy, our bartender at Bourbon Street Pub.
Oh, I love that place.
And also the wonderful
Bree. She was amazing. So
she was amazing.
Woman came in and sang from 8:30 to 10:30. She took requests. She sang live with her real voice.
Yes.
It was a fun play, and we got wasted there two nights in a row.
2 nights in a row. And the one thing is that we recommend that you go at 8:30, go hang out with Bree, request songs. And the thing is, if you get there a little early and you see her walk in and she starts singing songs, she's going to start singing songs that you would expect her, as you look at her, that she would sing.
Right.
And that's what we thought, and we still had a great time.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while, she'll throw a curveball.
Yeah.
And like the last night that we were there, she threw out Shoot by Salt and Pepper, and she knew every single word. Did a great job. We had lots and lots of fun. We bought shots for everyone at the bar.
She sang everything from Britney to Celine to classic rock. Heart. Yeah, she was really good. Yeah, so had a lot of fun with that. So anyway, Key West,
so much
y'all.
So.
Go to Key West.
Tell them.
Oh, so much. What happened?
So much so that we had a Las Vegas trip planned for November.
Yes.
And we switched it.
Oh.
And now we're going to Key West.
Well, our friends who might be listening to this show who live in Las Vegas might not be happy about that deal, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a lot more expensive in November than it was in May, so we'll have to see. I haven't found a place for us to stay yet.
Yeah, but you got to think about it in the term. If you're looking at a cost value, is that it's certainly going to be much less expensive than if we spent the same amount of time in Las Vegas.
Well, it's true. We'd spend a lot more money in Las Vegas.
Because you spend the amount on a nice home that has a pool, and you don't really spend that much out. I mean, you spend what.
Yeah, but Dale, this trip ended up costing us more than any trip we've ever been on because we ended up going into an art gallery.
Oh, that's true. I forget about that. Well, we have to stay out of the art galleries.
Yeah, we bought a piece of art.
Which is going to look great in 8 weeks in our new bar.
It really is going to look great. We have to wait 8 weeks for it to be packaged up, and they have to build a crate for it. It's so big.
Yeah.
But it has neon on it.
I will say, you say that. However, I keep saying that we have spent much more on much less.
That's true. You are very, very true. This is actually something tangible that we can touch and keep.
Exactly.
And show off to our friends. I don't want to give it away, but I'm very excited about this
No, don't
artist.
give it away. And then when it gets here, take pictures and put it on the...
our social feeds and stuff. Yeah, I'll do that because it's really cool. I won't even tell you the artist name because I want people to be surprised.
But you have to do video, not picture.
Right? Exactly.
It's one of those things.
So we haven't done a show in 2 weeks. So there are some there's some news that's old news, but it's new to us. And I wanted to talk about it. One of the things was, and you and I were just on an airplane.
Yeah.
Airlines are considering weighing passengers. But not really. This was a big story the week before we left to go down to Key West. What happened was that the FAA put out these recommendations to the airlines that said, listen, you guys are using averages, American weight averages from 20-something years ago.
Right.
Americans are fucking fat.
We've gotten much larger as a country.
We know that. This is a fact. We are the fattest country on the planet.
It's true.
Our people are growing.
That's true.
Every day, getting bigger and bigger. So the average American now, I think, is 195. Wow. Something in that range, which is ridiculous. I weigh 149, so I'm below average, I think, for my height.
There's that whole BMI metric, but I don't know how you calculate it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the airlines use those averages from 20-something years ago to determine whether or not they can take off. And literally, they do this. I know this. My dad was an airline captain for years and years and years. He had to make sure he knew how much weight he had on the airplane, and along with fuel and baggage to know if he could take off.
And so it makes sense because if you were a pilot or just an airline in general, how can you safely know that you are able to fly this airplane and that you have enough fuel to get this weight across the country?
Right. So what FAA was suggesting is that airlines set up scales at the gates and weigh their fucking passengers to figure out how much weight is on this airplane. None of them want to do it. American, Delta, all of them have said, we're not going to do that. We're just going to up our averages.
No, I don't think that would happen. But I think there will come a time, and God forbid there's going to be an accident.
Yeah.
And it come down to the plane just did not accurately measure the weight on the plane.
It was full of fat Americans. I mean,
they weigh the
luggage, and the freight and stuff.
They don't do that just because it's a thing.
Yeah, no, they do it because it's important. It's important to know this stuff. Right. Anyway, you and I are actually making a concerted effort to watch our weight and eat healthier.
Oh my God! You tell them we're trying to do the Mediterranean diet.
We are trying to do the Mediterranean diet. A lot more fish, a lot more beans, a lot less red meat, a lot less white bread and white potato and pasta.
Those are the two key things: red meat and
potatoes.
Anything white.
White potatoes, fried food. Yeah. We're trying to cut that out. Pasta only once a week. I still got to have my pasta.
See, the thing is, as far as potatoes are concerned, that's an organic product. The product is naturally white. Pasta, on the other hand, is not naturally white.
Right?
It is not.
It's bleached.
Right. So I feel like potatoes are okay. You just don't.
You can't just make up these rules, Dale.
You just don't need a mound of them.
Okay. So you want to eat. You still want to eat your white potatoes. You just want to eat them in moderation.
I want to eat anything that I want to eat, but obviously we're talking about this because I had gone to the doctor and my cholesterol is slightly high. So it was
slightly. They said you were off the record. They've never seen it that high before.
That is not true.
That is what you told me.
That is not what I told you. That is not true.
Because
if that was true, I'd be hospitalized right now.
You told me you were on death's door and we had to change the way we eat.
No,
is that not what you said?
I am not on death's door. It was recommended that I tried this.
All right.
And the menu looks pretty cool.
It does. Well, we love fish.
It's just the idea of changing what you're used to.
How are we going to get more olives in you? Because olives are really good for you.
I hear you.
And sweet potatoes and blueberries, all these things that you hate are really, really good for you.
Those are the three things I just absolutely cannot stomach. Olives, sweet potato. What was the other thing?
Blueberries.
Blueberries.
How could you not like blueberries?
They're weird, man. Get your vitamin D from pills.
So we're just talking about airlines weighing people. I have one airline story just because we just got off an airplane. We flew down. Luckily.
Bullshit.
Hey, we're so happy about this, though. American Airlines has a nonstop flight from Washington Reagan Airport to Key West, which is very convenient for us. I mean, the airport's not convenient for us because we live 2 hours away, but still, it's a nonstop flight. It was a nonstop flight back, too. And the flight attendant on the way back, I just have to talk about this because, man, she bummed me the fuck out.
Right.
So first of all, she's in her 60s, maybe upper 60s.
See, when you start a story like that, then you're already gonna have some sort of prejudice.
No, I'm not an ageist, Dale, but I have also been. It's been noted on this show for a decade now that I don't think flight attendants should be 60 years old. I think they should retire at like 30, 35.
They're not hiring models. It's not a modeling agency. It's an airline.
I want them to be friendly and happy and excited.
They can be friendly at 60. This one just wasn't.
Okay. It is true. I mean, that flight attendant that we had on the way back from Vegas in March was probably one of the best we've ever had.
We've had more positive experiences with airline attendants than not.
All right. So should I not tell this story?
No, you should totally tell it because this was bullshit.
All right.
Because this went beyond just being bitchy.
Well, from the very moment we walked on the plane, I knew, oh shit, we're in trouble because there was no smile, even though she was wearing a mask, but you can tell.
Right.
No smile, no how do you do. I mean, she was just like that substitute teacher that you fucking hated, you know, with all business. And at one point she came back and she was asking what we wanted to drink and I guess you couldn't hear her and you thought maybe she couldn't hear you. So
I thought that she couldn't hear me.
Right. So pulled your mask down.
I pulled my mask down and then she berated me. She's like, please don't, and this is her exact words, please don't talk to me with your masks down.
Yeah.
So I put my mask back up.
But
I gave my drink order.
But then it got worse.
And you gave your drink order. And then she walked up to get our drinks. But before she got our drinks, she picked up the phone and reminded the entire plane that you need to wear a mask and not to pull it down.
Right. I mean, she basically
called
you out in front of the entire airplane.
Right.
Yeah. And then she didn't, it was a 2.5 hour flight and she didn't even seem very excited about giving us that second drink either, she was just not happy, not friendly, not accommodating. And here's the worst part. Sorry about the dog toys. This has been a recurring theme on our
I
show.
know.
Is dog toys.
We need a new studio.
Yeah. So the first class, we were in first class, of course. We're always in first class. Sorry about that. We're spoiled. But the first row of first class was empty. This was not a full flight. And while she wasn't busy, while she wasn't working, while she wasn't attending to you and me, she sat her fat ass in the first seat of first class.
With her iPad.
And I thought that was very, very inappropriate. I mean, that is akin to the maid at a hotel sitting in the lobby during her break.
Right.
Or the waitress who has some downtime sitting at the table next to you in the restaurant. The flight attendant should not be sitting in a first class fucking seat. They have jump seats. They have a galley. Hang out there. I found it very...
She just wasn't pleasant.
Yeah. And they sent me, as they always do. Everybody always sends you a survey to fill out after.
Right.
I filled out that damn survey. And I'm like, that flight attendant on flight blah, 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 blah from Key West to DCA yesterday.
I wouldn't have felt so pissed off if she didn't pick up the phone and call me out.
Call you out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know about this Skip the Stuff? It's a movement.
I didn't know this was a law.
So before it was a law, there was this movement called Skip the Stuff. It's this organization that wants restaurants and bars and delivery companies to stop putting all that shit in the bag.
Right.
Do you need the utensils if they're delivering the food to your house? No. Do you need the ketchup and the mustard packets and the 85... You have a story about this. You went to Dunkin' Donuts 2 weeks ago to get coffee for...
Yeah, we're having a little thing in our community.
A yard sale.
And I thought it would be nice for us and our neighbors. I would go and get 2 of the box O coffees, I think they call them, and a dozen donuts, right? Which is fine. They proceeded to give me 3 bags.
Yeah.
And I was confused.
What's all this?
One bag was full of, so apparently you get 1 bag for every box of coffee, and we got 2, which included 8 cups, 8 lids, 8 straws, and a mountain of different sugars.
Hundreds, Dale. Hundreds.
And we got 2 bags.
Literally hundreds of sugars and Splendas and
then
Coffee Mate.
They gave me a 3rd bag, which was filled to the top with creamer.
Right, those little...
It had to be...
Those little white plastic things.
At least 75 creamers.
There was 7 of us. Yeah.
And we threw 95% of it in the garbage.
It was ridiculous. So this is what this is about.
Wasteful.
It's very wasteful. And you and I get takeout a lot. And
Yes.
we know...
But we try to be mindful.
Right.
So when I order, like we use DoorDash and we use a couple of other services, and
just
on
the
a
food,
couple of
people.
them,
Just the food.
They ask you if you want the plasticware, and I always say no.
Right.
But I think it's so accustomed that even when I say no, it's still in the bag. Chinese restaurants are also bad for this.
Yeah. So this organization is actually trying to stop this from happening. They want restaurants to only do it when people request it, which I think this is good. So McDonald's, don't put the napkins in there. Don't put the ketchup in there. Just give them the food. If they want something more, they can ask for it. But here's the thing. In LA County and other jurisdictions around the country, the local ordinances during COVID are forcing restaurants and delivery companies to put all the shit in there, whether people request it or need it or not.
Why is this a thing?
One, why do local governments even get involved in such things? Is it any of their fucking business? They're forcing restaurants to give people disposable silverware? Why? Most people, 99.9% of people, have silverware at home.
But it's not only that. It's petty for the government to get on that level.
It's so stupid.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
In California, of all places.
I know. Here's just one of the many statistics. The U.S. 561 billion disposable food service items every year. That's what we use.
Right.
Resulting in 4.9 million tons of waste just from that food that you take home from restaurants.
Right.
36 billion utensils we're using.
And
we're only a country of 300 million something.
And when we go to Starbucks, Starbucks is trying to, help with this issue, and they changed the lids to their cold drinks.
Yes.
And I still get asked, would you like a straw?
I know. Why are you asking?
Because people are still asking for straws.
So
and
let
I
them
just
ask.
I wouldn't offer it.
Exactly.
Say, I'm sorry, we don't have straws anymore.
Right.
We don't have them.
No, straws are bad for turtles. You don't need a fucking straw.
Or you get a paper straw.
Listen, this whole thing about, and there was a big thing about this, and we talked about this, I think, a year ago, and people were saying, but there's a whole community out there who need straws, people who have problems with their whatever.
Well, then you buy a metal reusable straw if you have any sort of handicap that requires you to sip a soda.
But can I just say something about that? Straws have only been around for like less than 100 years.
Exactly.
Humans have been around for thousands of years.
Right.
How did they fucking survive without straws?
Goes back to the same thing. This country has fostered no responsibility.
It's the same thing.
No personal responsibility in this country.
It's the same thing about toilet paper. I mean, we all demand toilet paper wherever we go, right? They didn't have toilet paper 300 years ago. No, that's a joke. That is a joke. But I'm doing a callback to our problem with toilet paper in Key West.
Oh my God!
So we get to this house that we rented for $700 a night.
Yeah,
mind you, we're rich, so we can afford it. Just kidding. Is that stupid?
Yes.
Should I cut that out?
Yes.
I'm not going to. All right. So the house was expensive, and we get there, and the toilet paper literally, you could see through it. It was so horrible. And the same thing with the paper towels that they left in the kitchen. And the bar of soap was one of those slivers that you expect to get at like a Super 8.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I complained about it afterwards, not during. You and I had to go to the store anyway to get some things.
Right.
So we got a pack of toilet paper. We got a pack of whatever we needed. And the good quality stuff. Angel Soft, which I like.
Right.
Something that actually does the job that you want it to do. Right. And I said, listen, for this amount of money per night, you think you would get a little better quality, not the cheapest shit that you could possibly get.
Right.
Right. Anyway. I don't know if that just makes us sound like egotistical snobs or whatever.
Because if you were
complaining about toilet paper and first class,
because if you were spending that same amount of money at a hotel, which requires you to leave during the middle of the day, and you don't have this whole private thing, like you're paying this, you would get much better quality paper products.
I think so too.
For your stay and shampoo. It was very cheap.
Listen, I've gotten better toilet paper at a Best Western.
I understand that you're in a business, but you got to spend money to make money. And when I'm spending $700 a night, I should get a brand name toilet paper.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do a whole review of the Friends, the reunion special that premiered on HBO Max last Friday. You guys have probably already watched it. The whole world has already fucking watched it. I'm going to do a review on it on the next Binge Bum episode that comes out this Friday, which is our show about all things streaming. But I wanted to just say there's a big controversy this week. China, who also gets HBO Max, they edited out some guest stars from the show. Those guest stars were Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, and BTS from South Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is that this to us sounds weird.
Yes.
But it's not the only country that does this. Do you know another one?
I don't.
One that you might not think of.
Canada?
England.
England took out who?
So not.
Oh, they edit stuff.
They edit stuff.
Right.
They don't edit stuff. So for John Oliver, right? The person you don't like.
I don't dislike him.
That doesn't matter.
I don't like his comedy.
It doesn't matter. There is a law that you cannot show video and make jokes about Parliament. And he does that a whole lot. So whenever he does that, HBO has to make a second copy of the whole thing, and they have to edit out the entire thing of members of Parliament. And so what they do in the parts that they edit out is they usually put some weird cartoon or something that's completely unrelated to the entire show just to make it funny in place of it.
All right, so you're saying that it's an actual law in England that you cannot make fun of Parliament.
Yes.
And so they have to pull that stuff out.
Right. HBO, they put like fun things in the whole thing.
All right, so I get that, but so why does China have a problem with Lady Gaga?
Yeah, see, those reasons I don't know.
I could see why they have a problem with BTS because they're from South Korea, and I don't think the Koreans and the Chinese like each other very much.
Well, so
I don't know.
Well, BTS is South Korean,
right?
And
well, obviously.
China is very friendly to North Korea, and so I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they have views that they have expressed and they haven't been translated yet to the American media. I don't know.
The bottom line here is why
it's just stupid.
But why? The question is why were Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, and BTS even in the Friends reunion? That's a whole nother story. If you want to hear more about that, either watch it yourself and find out. You might not even find out if you watch it, or you can listen to the Binge Bum this Friday. So we're going to talk about that more later.
Yeah.
But in related news, BTS, they're in the news this week because one, they have a new song out called "Butter." Have you heard it? It was on the radio this morning when we were driving around in the Jeep.
Today was the first time that I heard it all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've been listening to Dynamite 8,000 times.
I'm not a fan of it. I like Dynamite more.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
But BTS,
I think this is their second English song.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
So McDonald's has they have their whole series of famous orders, and they get famous musicians to create an order for them.
Right.
So, it's another way for Facebook to market. Facebook.
McDonald's.
Where did that come from? McDonald's to market their crap,
right?
Which we should not be eating, and you and I will not be eating as part of our Mediterranean diet. But anyway, launched on May 26th. There's the BTS meal. It's chicken nuggets, a medium fry, a medium Coke, and new sauces: sweet chili and Cajun sauces. Mm-hmm. But many people around the world are reporting that they're not getting their BTS packaging, like the bag and the fry thing, because people are actually taking them and selling them on eBay.
And I know a little thing
along with the sauces too.
I know a little thing about this, and I don't see it. I don't see that you have it written down, so maybe you don't know. But I was on TikTok earlier this morning, and to my understanding is that the packaging, the BTS packaging, is only on the medium bags.
Right. So if you
not the large bags. So if you're with a party of 4 in your car going through a drive-through and ordering 4 BTS meals, you're going to get a large bag, and your bag is not going to be BTS branded.
Oh my goodness!
You
have to order correctly.
It's only on the medium bag.
Well, here's the thing. But you're paying an up price for the BTS bag and for these special sweet chili and Cajun sauces because it's $9.68 in most markets. You could get the chicken McNuggets, the medium fries, and the medium Coke for a lot less.
Right.
If you don't get the BTS shit attached to it.
Exactly.
Just get
This is smart. I don't blame them.
It's very smart. It's very smart.
Yeah. I have something that you want, and you're going to pay for it, even if it's the same shit that you can get somewhere else.
So crazy.
But it is funny that there are websites that you can go to, like for McDonald's, and it tells you the different menu items that you can get outside of this country. And this sweet chili and Cajun sauces are like, it's a common thing in South Korea. Like, it's like not a thing, but it's just not here.
Right. Well, so
they're bringing it here for a limited time.
So it's always for a limited time, right? That's the whole way it works.
Nasty McRib.
All right. And the Shamrock Shakes.
I will say that, Chicken McNuggets are one of the... I have a hankering for those every once in a while. I just want some.
We did have some in the last couple of days, but it was an accident.
Well, that's a nice road food.
Yeah, we're on our way
easy.
back.
You just
DC.
ask for McNuggets with no sauce, and you could easily and just wipe your hands on your jeans.
Justin Bieber cut off all of his dreadlocks while we were on vacation. He got a lot of shit because of his cultural misappropriation. I have a problem with this. I told you about it when it came up last week. Listen, white guys are allowed to have dreadlocks. White guys are allowed to have whatever kind of fucking hair they want. Anybody of any color or creed or race can have any hairstyle they want. I don't understand why he was getting shit because he was wearing dreadlocks. Only black people can wear dreadlocks? Only people from Jamaica can wear dreadlocks? I don't understand this.
I mean,
it was not cultural misappropriation. It was what he was doing with his hair, and that's what he wanted to do.
No, I don't think so. And I feel that we're hearing more and more and more of these stories. And what's going to end up happening is that they become so petty, and that maybe petty is not the word. But basically what it's going to come down to is this movement that was meant for something.
People aren't picking their battles.
It's lost everything.
Exactly.
Because they're not picking their battles.
Well, listen,
and so it doesn't matter anymore. And they've lost everything.
We know this from following Justin for the last 15 years. He is very influenced by black artists.
Usher.
Yeah. Usher and so many others. He's worked with everybody.
Right. But the story of Justin Bieber is Usher was the one who took him under his wing. That's how Justin Bieber got his start.
Yeah.
And so that is his influence. He even says it in his early interviews.
Yeah.
So the fact that someone who wants to wear a hairstyle that, yes, is majority worn by people of color.
Right. It's certainly not a slap in the face to anyone.
Why is it misappropriation?
It's not.
Is my concern.
I don't think it is.
What makes it misappropriation versus appreciation?
Yeah. But this goes all the way back to the 80s when Bo Derek had cornrows in her hair, and people were like, how dare you? She looked awesome, and it was just kind of silly. It was silly. Jamaican women aren't the only ones who can wear cornrows.
Right. The problem with this is that he cut them off in response to this, and I think that's where
he shouldn't have.
He shouldn't have.
But maybe he was done with them. Maybe
that could be
maybe
true.
It was his own decision.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about that anymore. And we're gonna skip. We've gone long, so I want to skip.
We've gone very long,
way ahead. I don't know that I want to talk about any of this stuff. I do want to talk about this because it came up. You and I were watching Bill Maher from last Friday. We do enjoy his show on HBO. What's it called?
Real Time.
Real Time with Bill Maher. I line very closely with him politically. I'm not a stoner like he is, but I do like him a lot. He brought up this. I don't want you guys to think I'm copying him because I actually had this on the script for today's show before we even watched Bill Maher. So this came up in my radar too. But there was this girl. Her name is Alyssa Bonal. She's 11 years old. She was waiting by a school bus at the school bus stop, waiting for the bus to come, when a knife-wielding man came and tried to abduct her. Can I speak today? The girl had been playing with some blue slime. I didn't even know blue slime was still a thing, but I guess kids play with it. She fought her attacker. He ran away. Apparently, he ran away with blue slime all over him, and that's how the police fingered him later in the day. She basically told the news outlets that it was because she watched Law and Order SVU that she survived this attack. So it made the news, obviously, and then Mariska Hargitay.
Haggerty.
Is that how you say it?
Yes, I believe so. Mariska Haggerty.
I don't think it's Haggerty. I think it's Hargitay. Anyway.
It doesn't matter.
Her mom was decapitated. Mm-hmm. Her mom was Jane Mansfield. Mm-hmm. She was decapitated in a car accident. Anyway, love her to death. But that's not what this is about. This is about this kid who's 11 years old who learned this tactic to get away from her abductor from watching SVU with her mom at 11 years old.
Is that what was said?
The problem, yes. The problem here is that 11-year-olds should not be watching this horrible, horrible show. I even feel uncomfortable watching it. I told you this.
You're uncomfortable watching a bunch of stuff, which is just
Yesterday,
weird. As a middle-aged man, you should not be having these types of feelings about these shows.
Middle-aged.
You're over middle-aged.
I still think I'm in my first trimester. Listen, you were watching yesterday Criminal Minds, and I was sitting at my desk a couple of rooms away, and I could hear the screaming of these victims on Criminal Minds, and I came into the room, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on in here? It was disturbing to me. These shows are disturbing. And
they are not disturbing. They are telling a story. And as long as you can realize that what you're watching is not really happening, it's not a reality show.
Dale Blades, is it appropriate for an 11-year-old to be watching these things?
Maybe not.
No.
But I'm talking about you as a 50-year-old who still finds them disturbing when they're telling a story.
You know what I find disturbing?
That's why you watch Real Housewives, because that's...
It's much cleaner. 11-year-olds could watch that. What's disturbing is
I like a good story, and if someone ends up getting killed, wait, what was the last thing that we watched? Like literally the last thing that we watched.
Mosquito Coast.
Yes.
And there were some horrible things in there.
Right. And I was just waiting for you to turn around and say, I can't watch this anymore.
No, I liked it. I like that show. It's slow, but it's a slow burn, but I do like that show.
Yeah.
And I like Justin Theroux. I don't like his wife so much. In the show, not his real. His real wife was Jennifer Aniston. I do love her. I'd marry her. Although I think there's something wrong with her. She's gone through a lot of men.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, speaking of women, Caitlyn Jenner has been in the news a lot because she's running for governor of California. We've talked about it on the show before. Just wanted to say this because while we were down in Key West, I watched this piece that she did on CBS this morning. She did an interview. She was actually in the studio. She was one of the first people that they had in the studio actually talk to her in person, which I thought was great.
That's true, yeah.
Everyone there vaccinated, of course. The comments that I saw on CBS News' social media was so disturbing to me. So disturbing. They literally felt sick to my stomach. I get it, people. Caitlyn Jenner is probably not the best person to be governor of California or governor of anything.
But people are mean and disgusting.
The comments from Americans, our fellow Americans, about Caitlyn Jenner were so disgusting and horrible. And you know what? It's like, why do you give a shit that Bruce became Caitlyn? It's none of your fucking business.
Right.
Politics aside, you know, it's just it was so disheartening. And the comments were just, I get it. You don't have to be for transsexuals or whatever. You don't have to be, but just keep your fucking mouth shut.
Right.
Nobody needs you to post it on CBS's
The reason
website.
why social media gets a fucking bad rap.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It's intended for a great purpose, but people fucking ruin it.
It was really
And then people are arguing about Section 230, and I think Section 230 is like the best thing that could happen because it's not social media's responsibility. They provide you with the platform. They shouldn't be responsible for what people say.
Right. Agreed. Anyway, we should
That's my
go.
2
This has been a
cents.
really long show. Yeah. I want to do 2 call-outs. I got to say goodbye to 2 celebrities that I really admired and were a part of my life for my entire life.
Is this an in memoriam?
Yeah. Gavin MacLeod. He was in the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and more famously, probably, he was Captain Steubing on the Love Boat. And my sister and I grew up with the Love Boat. And he probably single-handedly, or that show single-handedly, made the cruise industry what it is today. I mean, when Love Boat came out, people didn't go on cruises.
Right.
It was a very, very small percentage. So
It should probably still be that way.
maybe now. Also died this past week, Charles Grodin, who was probably one of the most deadpan, funny guys in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He was in some of my favorite movies, like Seems Like Old Times with Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn, which, have you seen that movie, Dale?
No.
We're watching it. You will fucking love it. Midnight Run with Robert De Niro. He was in Dave with Kevin Kline. Beethoven movies with the dog. He also did like 80 appearances on the Today Show, the Tonight Show, and David Letterman. He is so funny, so dry, and so just the best thing in everything.
I actually think dry comedy is one of the best comedies that you should be able to
appreciate. It really is. So, hats off to Gavin and Charles. May they rest in peace. You guys also, besides listening to the Binge Bum podcast this Friday, which is all about streaming video,
right?
That Dale and I do. Rob Lowe's podcast, Literally, is so freaking good. It's called Literally.
We've listened to a couple of these. You got to tell them about it's an old one but goodie, the Tiffany Haddish one.
That was good. We
That's
talked
really
about that on
one.
this show before.
Yeah, probably.
I'm talking about the two that I listened to on vacation.
Yeah.
The one with Demi Moore is really good. They talk a lot about St. Elmo's Fire.
See, I forgot my headphones on this trip, so I didn't listen to anything.
Stupid. You need a checklist. I keep telling you. He also has a show with Andrew McCarthy. They talk about Pretty in Pink and all the Rat Pack movies and stuff. And what's amazing is that I didn't know this. Rob Lowe, Demi Moore, and Andrew McCarthy are all in AA. They're all recovering alcoholics. So that's exciting.
I didn't know that about any of them.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
You never know.
You don't. We're not recovering. We're sticking with it.
We're sticking with it.
We're gonna go get another one right now.
We don't have a problem. We figured it out.
Love you guys.
I should get a brand name toilet paper.
Agreed.
Yeah.